Well, this is the second of two videos that I just had to make today because both of these things were on my mind. And this is probably going to be the one that's a little more controversial than the first one. If you just want something light and fun and everything is great, you know, check my other video that I uploaded today. But we really need to talk about the fact that what happened last night at the Oscars that everyone's talking about today with Will Smith and Chris Rock and the slap heard around the world and all that all of that is complicated with the context that people in this country do not understand uh, ethical non-monogamous relationships. I don't know that Jada Pickett Smith would say that she's polyamorous. I honestly don't know that much about her other than, I know about her alopecia because that's something that's particularly interesting to me, having dealt with hair loss myself. But, um, with the context of the fact that, she had this, what people think of as an affair that Will Smith has said explicitly was not an affair and that there was no infidelity in their relationship. And so from that, they have some sort of, ethical non-monogamous relationship, or at least she does with her husband. And I it makes a lot different perspective on it when you think about the fact that the broad societal interpretation of what happened with them, and that person telling their business that didn't need to be done, that it made people feel like Will was a cuckold when that isn't the case. And so that is going to prime a man to be very sensitive about people questioning his manliness, especially in his relationship to his wife, and his ability to be a good husband, And so I think you have to kind of think about that context when you think about what had happened with that interaction. There was a history of that man, Chris Rock, insulting his wife specifically, going out of his way to insult his wife during an Oscar ceremony, no less. And, Jada has been pretty open about the alopecia and the hair loss. And so it's just incomprehensible that Chris Rock would not know that she had a medical condition, and that's why she was bald headed. And you maybe shouldn't make fun of somebody's medical condition. But of course, then there's the context of him making a documentary called Good Hair, like, not even 15 years ago, that talked about alopecia, especially in the African American community. So that's yikes. But I think that if we understood as a society that ethnical non-monogamy is just, something that some couples practice, and there's not any reason to think about anything about their relationship with each other just because they practice that, to say that, he was cheated on, and there's a lot of negative connotations, especially for a man who's, who people think that his wife cheated on him and that he let her get away with it or whatever. So if that pressure hadn't been on Will Smith, if he hadn't already been dealing with people misunderstanding the nature of his relationship and thinking things about him that weren't true based on their misapprehensions, then maybe he wouldn't have felt as compelled to act like he did. obviously do not think that it is right to smack somebody. I just don't. The whole thing was weird, and it needed to be addressed because it's not okay to make fun of somebody's disability. But I don't believe that was quite the way to do it. But you know, there's a lot of baggage here, personal baggage, and then broader societal baggage that, you know, could be alleviated if people would just understand that, you know, just because a woman has a sexual relationship out of her marriage does not mean that she and her husband don't have a strong, healthy marriage and don't love each other and aren't committed to each other and aren't in full communication about everything that's happening, and that, you know, we just need to give these things up. That's all.